Triple stun out from Chun-Li. They swap to Rubcup, they get the Divine Shield, and now Rubcup is going to be very low on cooldowns. As long as Novos keeps a level head here, he gets a full Hex actually from Jamili, or no, Voodoo Totem, so he's able to get out of that. Thugonomics is still down at half. He's going to gate, try and extend this. He's trying to avoid Doomwind's damage, but with this cross crowd control, Novos choosing not to trinket. This could be maybe a greedy play. Thugonomics is dipping dangerously low. Spirit Link is going to connect and save him. Jamili has defensive cooldowns. I really don't see him as a kill target anytime soon. I would love to see another swap to Rubcup, though, very shortly if they can find the opportunity. Mortal Coil out from Thugonomics, but it wasn't a double. Roasties was able to actually Cloak of Shadows and immune the Mortal Coil so he could peel Thugonomics. That was a nice setup play from Roasties. Jamili is still dangerously low, trying to line of sight with Rubcup. They're trying to buy time for Avenging Crusader, which is just going to be immediately used by Rubcup. A nice defensive Hex. Jamili can dispel that, so they're going to remove it. This could be the setup to win. Novos and Thugonomics need to be ready.
This game is very close, but I would put Tilted slightly ahead here because Novo still has that trinket. Thugonomics using his wall from the Bloodlust of Jamili, trying to stop that pressure. There's the leg sweep from Chun-Li. Back and forth pressure. Now the Bloodlust from Jamili being popped. That's so much damage. It does fade now. Thugonomics, no defensive cooldowns left available. This is the Ascendance from Novos, but tons of damage connecting from Roasties. That's the Vendetta. Thugonomics, 5% life. How is he going to survive this one? The full Hex lands from Jamili. Novos doesn't get the heal off, and Thugonomics drops.
That was down to the wire. Both healers completely out of mana. We just stepped into dampening at that moment. Perhaps Novos Thugonomics could have spaced their defensive cooldowns out a bit more at the end. There was a heavy overlap with Unending Resolve and Earthen Shield Totem. Novos wanted to pre-Earthen. I think Thugonomics tried to gauge, okay, this isn't enough on its own, but maybe it would have been, and if they could have staggered them just slightly, that would have bought time for Novos to connect the healing wave. Either way, that was a really well-played game from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, that was so close as well right there. Rubcup probably used his last Avenging Crusader right there at the end. He did not have much mana to work with, which kind of is the win condition here for Tilted. I am a little bit surprised to see that Thug was playing the big Chaos Bolt rather than playing the Cremation spec, which is a little bit more effective at burning that mana bar if that is the strategy that you want to be applying to a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thugonomics is just, he likes really big chaos. Like, that's just...
He likes big numbers.
He likes seeing big crits, and that's just what he's done all the time on Destruction Warlock. That's what he's kind of known for, so he likes that play style. And it is threatening in its own sense. If he can sneak in a Soul Harvest Chaos Bolt at any moment, you might just get a deleted kill off of the back of air almost. So that surprise factor is definitely something Thugonomics likes. I don't know, against Avenging Crusader, Cremation might not be that great. I feel like Rubcup would heal through that a lot easier, but I could be wrong.
I think he would spend a lot more mana because he would have a much higher overall DPS compared to the Chaos Bolts. I mean, I think he got off 2 Chaos Bolts in that entire match, so I don't think he got the most value out of it, but I still see that you can apply a lot of pressure when you do land one of them. It can be very game-changing, so I understand why he picked it. It's just a side note.
I know that's just how Thug loves to play. I've been playing with the guy for years. He gets those huge Chaos Bolts off with a double leg sweep, double Fist of Fury, so much damage connecting. And the Regects, defensively, nothing left. No bubble, no trinkets. Jamili had a wall right at the end, but really, the Windwalker Deathlock, one more setup, it could have been game.
But for all the guys at home and gals at home that maybe don't know what's going on in the arena, Zika, why don't you go through the replay and help them out?
We have... This is a very interesting moment in the game right here. I want to highlight quickly what Chun-Li has to do in this matchup. So the general kill strategy, of course, for the Regects is to land a kidney shot onto Thugonomics right here, and then you want to have Rubcup kind of harassing Novos at this side of the map and trying to get these Hammers of Justice on cooldown onto Novos, and then they want to combine that with the big damage from the Enhancement Shaman. You can see right here he's using some of that deeps, and then you can kind of combine that with the Kingsbane and the Vendetta, of course, sometimes, to really try to get those big cooldowns from Thugonomics, and then eventually get a clean go where you can kill him. I actually think Rubcup maybe could have played the Repentance in this matchup, but I can see why he wouldn't want to pick it because of that that spellock factor, of course. But the player I really want to highlight here is Chun-Li, because as you can see here, Chun-Li is really not in any kind of crowd control, and it's his job to kind of babysit Thugonomics and be that goalkeeper and try to prevent Thugonomics from really just going down. So we're going to take a look at what Chun-Li actually ends up doing here. We're going to see that big Hammer of Justice kind of come out, out. You see here, he's going to incapacitate Robcop there and try to shut down that damage. Thugonomics is going to go ahead and get that double coil out, and then Chun-Li is going to have to use that Fist of Fury every single time when Novos is in that setup right there, and that is going to be the win condition. And there we can see another leg sweep is going to hit Robcop right there into a fear, and then this is kind of Tilted's way to try to turn the tides here, because I think it's very important to focus on how they survive, because their main objective is to survive, not necessarily to net a kill. As long as they land, they make Robcop fall behind on mana, then you're going to be doing completely fine in that case. And then here again we can see a pretty good setup come out of the Regects. You can see here Novos caught up in that Hammer of Justice, and you can see here Robcop has no mana left to work with really. He might have enough to use one more Avenging Crusader and do one more of these Hammer of Justice setups. You can see he's used his bubble and his Blessing of Protection and his Hand of Sacrifice, and really has used all of his buttons basically. You can see here the Vendetta has came up for Roasties, as well as Thugonomics has his Unending Resolve active, and then this time around as well, Roasties has used his Vanish right there to try to get a off sheep shot onto Chun-Li to prevent Chun-Li from kind of saving the situation here, because they realize they are running out of time. So nice heads up play from Roasties, and we're going to see what happens here. Novos is going to be sitting in the Hammer of Justice. Robcop is going to connect. Beautiful kick onto Thugonomics. Nice Blood of Silence as well. A lot of damage coming on Thugonomics as that Unending Resolve is fading. Nice shear by Jamili onto Novos. And look at Jamili. His job is to make sure Novos doesn't get to cast. There's the Fist of Fury, and then Novos trying to cast another Hex Totem just to interrupt that cast when he doesn't have that wind shear available. And that's kind of what Jamili has to do. He has to make sure that he gets tons of burst out in these opportunities, and then he has to kind of get those off wind shears, that Hex Totem to interrupt some of that heals, slow down Novos a little bit, and then try to net the kill that way.
I'm kind of wondering how the Regects knew that Thugonomics was going to be played. I mean, we haven't seen him